Hey everybody, welcome back to Lemon Branch DIY. Today we are working on a stain on a leather jacket. How do you get it out? I don't know. Let's figure it out. So what we have here is, this is a water buffalo leather jacket. And we're not sure what the stain is. We're not sure where that came from or how it got there, but we do know that we have tried multiple things to get the stain out. So what we're going to do is we are going to use just a soft cloth, and we're going to use an iron on a low setting, not a very high heat. And we're going to first put so there's the stain. We're going to put the cloth down over the top of it. And then we're going to take the iron on a lower heat, and we're going to just start moving it back and forth like this. Now you don't want to leave it on there, you just want to go back and forth. I'll turn off the steam. We'll see what it does. We'll just go back and forth with it. And this is on, like I said, it's on a low setting. So we'll just kind of go back and forth a little bit. And let's check on it to see what's happening. And you can see it's starting to transfer over onto the cloth here. So if we look at the leather, it's still there, but we'll just keep working it because you can see it's starting to transfer over. So I'm going to turn down the heat just a little bit. And I'm going to do that. What I had it on was the wool setting. I'm going to put it down to silk even, and that way I can kind of go back and forth with it a little bit longer without having to worry so much about the heat. But we'll just kind of go back and forth. And what the heat's doing is heating up that whatever the stain is, and then it's just going to transfer right up to the cloth. Okay, so this is just the first step. We're going to iron it and just keep it on that lower heat, go back and forth a bunch, and that loosens up the stain for step 2. Okay, so how are we gonna get the stain off? Well, if you have watched the channel before, you know that I am a big, huge believer of just the Huggies Natural Care baby wipes. These things are crazy good for getting all kinds of stuff out of different textures and different fabrics and things. Okay, so we have another little spot right here that we're just gonna kind of go through it like that. And you can get a little bit more aggressive, and you can see it transferring over to the cloth. So I'm getting most of that stuff out. So we think it was food or something, but it comes right off of this leather. So the good thing about this leather is it's nice and dark, and so a lot of it's going to be hidden in there anyway, but we want to try and get as much of this out as we can. So we're just using these baby wipes, and you may have to wet it down just a little bit in the faucet just to give it a little bit more water, but I'm just going to keep working it just like that. So what was once a stain, the stain is no longer. Okay, so after doing the two-step method, first doing the iron and then with the baby wipes, you can see the stain is actually gone. It looks really good. Really happy with it. Once it dries, I'm sure it's going to be a little bit hard because it is a nice soft leather. I would recommend putting a leather conditioner on there. There's different kinds of leather conditioners, and I'll leave a link down below. But if you use a honey leather conditioner, it will soften this thing right back up. But that is how you get a stain out of a leather coat and have it back to new. Here is the leather honey, and what we're gonna do after we got the stain out, you can see the stain, it turned out really, really nice, but it did leave the leather hard. So out and around, all this other area is nice and soft, but this area where we got it wet actually is a little bit stiff. So we are going to use the leather honey conditioner, and how we do this is first you make sure it's at room temperature, and then you put it on a lint-free cloth. Okay, so we're just gonna put some right on there. You can see it's a little bit thicker, and then we're just gonna rub it right onto the leather where it is hard. So we're just gonna rub it in. Looks like we're gonna need a little bit more. And then what you do is once you get it rubbed in like this, it says to let it sit, preferably overnight. But it's several hours is what it takes for all of this to get absorbed into the leather. And then once you're done with it, then you just brush off any of the excess. And that is how you put the leather conditioner right onto the leather. Okay, so we had really, really good results. The stain came out, and now we've got it all softened up with that leather conditioner. Thank you so much for joining us on this. If you did like this, please make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. We have so much more do-it-yourself content coming out, so you don't want to miss any of that. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.